And we're live.
We're live.
Think so.
Hopefully, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully, you guys can hear me this time. Okay, yeah, I could already hear myself in the thing. Okay, welcome once again to the JC Penni episode 13 of the 17th season. With me today is Zach Hall, Sean Fitzgerald at the hospital awaiting his firstborn son. So he gets the week off. I already said this a minute ago, but none of you could hear me. Please give a little grace. The production quality might not be as good as it normally is with Zach trying to take over and handle it. I now understand why on more than one occasion Sean has not started the stream when we thought we had started the stream, or had not been recording when we thought we were, because that's happened more times than it should be.
Oh, nice. Sean said we're 30 seconds behind.
I don't think that it's 30 seconds behind. Because I mean, on my YouTube video that I have it up right now, it's like almost instant. So anyways, welcome. Me and Zach are going to take over the duties this week. With that said, I think we can just jump right into the previous week's matchups, starting as always with the Commissioners matchup, not changing that. Alex gets a really big win against Sean. Pretty much locks Alex up for the bye. Kind of really sucks for Sean. He had a chance to win it going into Monday night, as small of a chance as it possibly could be, considering Bryce Young only needed like half a point.
But he made it a little bit of a sweat. I still remember
it was a little bit of a sweat.
He had the pick early. He was at like negative 0.5 or something at halftime.
Yeah, I think at halftime Sean was still ahead, which is like it's not over, but
I mean it was
over. It was over.
But yeah, no, I mean honestly, like huge win for Alex. Pretty much locks up the bye.
It does.
There's a small universe where I win both my games, Alex loses both of his games, and I outscore him. I think I have to outscore him by 210 points over 2 weeks. I have my doubts that's going to happen. So yeah, no, huge win for Alex. And then on the other hand, for Sean, he's still. I mean, I think he's still in playoff position. Last I checked, right? But
he is. He's currently in fourth. He still controls his own destiny. But a tough loss to take. Lamar Jackson putting up less than 10. The DeAndre Swift trade looks worse and worse as time goes on, as DeAndre Swift fumbled and pretty much was the backup behind Monungai the rest of the way. He left 18.5 points from Kareem Hunt on his bench. The last week that it seems like Kareem Hunt's going to be the main starter there, now that Pacheco's supposed to be back this week. Just kind of unfortunate. And
no, just sorry, I just want to circle back to Sean. So Sean at 6-6, like he's still honestly like in a good playoff position, right? Like
he's still almost definitely.
But imagine if he's 7-5, right?
Yeah,
like
no,
it's just
like we said. I mean, I said it at I think it was like late 1 o'clock games where I'm like, we're going in, or sorry, last week on the podcast we had kind of said like if he wins this week, he still has a shot at the bye. And after the overtime touchdown for Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm like, Jahmyr Gibbs just dropping the 50 burger to end any hope that Sean could have had.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that Gibbs put up 50 and it still was a somewhat close matchup was pretty amazing. So Sean, I think, is a pretty big. I think I think right now he's second in points, so he's a pretty big favorite. Even if he does take another loss or two, like I don't think there's a scenario where he misses the playoffs at this point. I think it's pretty unlikely that he even drops down to the bottom 6. Yeah. So before we move to the next matchup, I want to ask you one question, Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
How worried are you if you're Alex? You just locked up a bye, but take away Jahmyr Gibbs and then take away Emmanuel Wilson. Just
Emmanuel. So I will say Emmanuel Wilson, like Josh Jacobs is going to be the starter. He has Josh Jacobs. Yeah. So that is helpful. He had Justin Herbert on bye. He has Jalen Waddle on bye. And I actually really like Jalen Waddle's schedule moving forward. I don't know, man. Like, I don't love Breece Hall. CeeDee Lamb seems to just be the number 2 in that offense now. I didn't think that was going to be the case, but I don't know. I still think Alex has a team that can be in the championship.
Yeah,
I don't think that's changed. I don't think I'm too worried because he does have people like Jahmyr Gibbs who can just explode for fucking 50 points, which is just absurd. He also only got 15. He also only got 15 points out of his quarterbacks and still ended up with 140. Like, it's a give and take.
Yeah. No, and we all know the playoffs are, he's going to be a bye, so he's going to be in the semis. So like, first of all, he doesn't have to play you, so he's just going to flip coins for one. He's going to flip coins for one game, and then if he wins that coin flip, he hopes that either you lost or he can pull an upset. But it's once you get the bye, you're just in that spot where it's like, okay, anything can happen for 2 weeks, and then you win the championship.
Yeah. I don't know. And this is also just like Sean kind of said it in the chat during the games. Like, if Jerry and Alex lock up the bye with 2 weeks to go, this is going to be so boring. And as much as I am happy to have locked up the bye, I'm inclined to agree with him. Like, what am I supposed to do for the next 3 weeks? Just watch the games for fun.
Just enjoy football.
Yeah. Like, I don't, that sounds terrible. It sounds awful. I don't want to do that. I want to sweat out the games. Like, what's the point in... I didn't expect it to happen this quickly.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Anything else for this matchup before we move on to the next
You asked
one?
it how worried I am about Alex, but like, I don't know. I think I'm a little more worried about Sean. Lamar Jackson putting up only 7 points, and that, which wouldn't really be that big of a deal, but that's back-to-back bad weeks. Yeah, I mean, he has not scored at 2 games against Cleveland and the Jets, and he has 0 touchdowns. He's less than 200 yards in both days, only 10 rushing yards a game.
Yeah, combining for 12 points in the last 2 weeks is not good for what?
Yeah,
he was 2 overall pick?
Yeah.
3 overall pick?
I think he was number 2. It's
second overall.
It's not great. I mean, he does get Cincinnati this week, which is this next week, which obviously we'll get into the next matchups. But yeah, no, maybe there's a little cause for concern there. But I mean, honestly, he, again, like I already mentioned, George Pickens is the number 2 wide receiver in fantasy.
I was gonna say, just looking top to bottom here. Obviously, Lamar had a bad day, Swift had a bad day, but everyone else just doing what you need them to do, right?
Most people did, yeah.
Put up 133. That's usually good. That's usually good for a win.
That's true. That's true.
That's why I didn't want to go too, because so for me, I'm not super worried about Sean. Obviously, he's going to be a little bit nervous if Lamar keeps putting up these numbers, but other than that, he's just solid top to bottom. In my mind.
Yeah. I mean, and again, and this is also kind of an unlucky situation for him. He finished 3rd in points scored and gets a loss this week.
Oh, sorry. I just saw the chat. Sean said that he's worried about his team, which means he's probably winning a title. And he also said Lamar is definitely playing injured, which I haven't really watched those games. So I maybe, is he nursing an injury?
I mean, he was injured before he came. I mean, he was out for 4 or 5 weeks injured in the first place. So I'm assuming he, All right, let's move on to the next matchup.
Oh yeah, this is just such the contrast between these. Like getting Sean goes and gets a loss with 133, and then James comes out and gets a win with 95.2.
Yeah, I was saying it all day on Sunday. I'm like, one of these teams is going to win with less than 100. And don't get me wrong, I am upset that he starts Matthew Golden, who doesn't play, but it is kind of funny that Scott takes the L here. I just don't know what to think of his team. It's so much of a boomer bust situation. Like Jonathan Taylor and Kyron Williams combining for 13 points. Jamison Williams, I am right. I cannot I can't understate this. Like Jamison Williams through the first 7 weeks of the season was like wide receiver 45 or something. And I was like, fuck this guy. I can't stand him. I'm dropping him. As soon as I drop him, 3 weeks go by and he's like the wide receiver 2 overall through that 3-game stretch. I'm like, it's going to happen. Eventually, he's going to go back to being who he is as a person. And hey, look, against the Giants, no less, a game that went to overtime, a game where they scored 34 points, he couldn't muster a catch. That is just the roller coaster game that you play with him.
How many targets did he get? He got 4 or 5, I think it was. Or?
I think it was only 3. But that's also that was kind of my problem with when I had him. It's like the first drive of the game, they'll target him twice, and then he'll get 1 target the rest of the game. That's just how. There's just too many mouths to feed there. Amon-Ra's obviously the number 1 wide receiver. I mean, actually, you would think that he'd have even more opportunity because Sam Laporte is gone.
Yeah.
But, I think Jahmyr Gibbs had, 11 catches in this game. So, dominating the target share.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he has a really good team name, Jonathan Taylor's World Tour, because that is his team. He'll put up, he's still their running back too. But let me just look at this breakdown. Yeah, he'll put up 6.7, then he puts up 48, then 7. Like,
And yeah, I mean, I will say though, he's the running back 2 right now, but he's had his bye, and the current running back 1 has not. So he is still the number
yeah,
1 running back,
yeah,
despite a 7-point day.
yeah, and like I said, 2 weeks ago, a 6-point day. Like he's
Jonathan Taylor was the only person that was not a roller coaster for the first 8 weeks of the season, though.
Yeah, I was expecting to see more roller coasters when I opened it up, and I was like, oh no, he was just consistently putting up 20, and then the last few weeks he's either 50 or sub 10. But
Yeah.
I think Scotty, and honestly, is in a really similar spot to what we were talking about with Sean last week, right? Or with the last matchup. Like he's still fine. He's still probably making the playoffs. He's got enough points that he's going to either win a tiebreaker, or if he does get knocked down, I think he's like almost 100 points ahead of window for the wild card. So I think Scotty's making the playoffs almost definitely. But again, wouldn't you like to be 7-5 and you're just locked up? Like with his points, if he was 7-5, he'd pretty much have top 5 locked up, right? But,
yeah, I mean, at this point, it's completely up for grabs. Like I think he's still in a position where he controls his own destiny. I don't know if I want to talk about it, but I mean, he trades for T. Higgins, and T. Higgins gets the concussion. He's obviously not playing.
Who do you trade? Who do you trade for T. Higgins?
Lad McConkey, who was on a bye.
No,
he was on a bye last week.
I meant the manager. It was you, right?
It was me.
Just wanted to highlight that fact.
It was me. No, it kind of made me mad because in the chat he had said while people were discussing, he's like, T's gonna get hurt, and I was like, that is similar to what he had said. But in our private messages as we were discussing the trade, as soon as we agreed on, he's like, cool, can't wait for T. Higgins to get hurt, and I was like, come on, man. Like Scotty was out here manifesting it. It's like he wanted it to happen. 5.6 points, though, kind of low. I mean, honestly, it would have been a really amazing catch on that one play. Probably would have given him a few more points. I think it would have been a big catch. I don't know. Scotty's team, 85 points is just really low. I'm surprised his team put up such a small amount.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
we did talk about how James is going to, finish 6-8. We talked about this. He's quietly on a 3-game winning streak. It doesn't have to do a lot. You just got to go out there and win games, right?
Is he actually on a 3-game win streak? I thought he lost last. Wow.
Nope, he's on a 3-game win streak right now.
It was
sitting
me
at 4-8.
Yeah, it was me window. Then Scotty, he beat just back to back to back. Yeah, I mean he's
you window and Scotty, and I'm just saying right now that's 3 straight playoff teams that he's beaten.
Yeah,
3 people currently in the playoffs.
Although I'm pretty sure I did the math, and he has to outscore window by like 300 points.
There's no way. there is literally no way.
So it's going to be whether he can win one of the 2 Sacco bracket games, and whether
obviously that is just what it is.
Or not.
I mean, he's still like 100 points back on Jason right now. Like
and Jason's like hundreds of
Jason's
points back
like 100 points
card,
back.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, James is done, but 4-8. He could be 6-8 this year, and that's why I've heard you and Sean have talked about this a lot. Like the Woat Watch thing was a little premature, I think.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna get into the standings a little bit too once we get done these matchups. But I'm like, again, he only lost to Sean by like 1.5 points. Like I feel like there is a universe where James finishes with a winning record.
He only lost in week 1. I think he put up like 120 or 125, and I beat him with 130.
Yeah, he was like 4th in points scored in week 1. Like, no, there is a universe that James finishes with a winning record, which is crazy considering we spent half the season talking about Woat Watch.
Yeah. Anything else on this matchup? Or
no. Let's move on to what was a battle of didn't really matter about the results. This is all about scoring points. Window's been saying that for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and this week he came out and he put up points. Caleb Williams starting to look like a viable fantasy quarterback. Not a lot out of his wide receivers. You got to be, Rico Dowdle, I think, might have been a little bit of a flash in the pan on those back-to-back 30-point games. Like he's had one other 25-point day, but he's been much more normal. Again, he plays for the Panthers. There's going to be limitations there. Brock Bowers come back down to earth as well. That 40-point explosion. He's only scored 20 points since then in 3 weeks. But massive day out of Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm terrified for Justin Jefferson, man. JJ McCarthy is not an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I was gonna say like,
And
what's happened to him? Like
uh,
I feel like it was like 2 or 3 years ago he was like the consensus number one overall pick, and now I mean
yeah, no,
he's
Justin
still the wide
Jefferson.
receiver at 15,
Yeah, but
but
literally, it's that
his
JJ McCarthy just can't, he's not an NFL quarterback. That's just all. He can't get anybody the ball. He's throwing multiple picks a game,
yeah.
and like nobody has JJ McCarthy. I'm pretty sure. I'm actually.
I
Let
don't
me.
think anyone has him, right?
No, somebody does, and they won their matchup this week. It was James. James has JJ
Wait, James
McCarthy.
started McCarthy?
James started JJ
Wait,
McCarthy. Guess how many points JJ McCarthy put up this week?
I mean, I have it on my screen right now. I'm sharing with the viewers.
I didn't
0.48.
I didn't know that you were going back. Yeah, 0.48 points, and James gets the win.
I didn't
No,
even
like
notice
this
that
is
part.
this is what I'm talking about though. JJ McCarthy cannot get. I mean, I think it's really a problem when you can't get Justin Jefferson the ball.
Yeah.
He's throwing for no yards. He's throwing. I mean, he's having multiple turnovers a game. I mean, he has now played in 6 games. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has 10 interceptions in 6 games played.
It's not good.
It's not good. Like he's throwing twice as many interceptions as he is touchdowns. Like it's bad. And Justin Jefferson is directly getting affected by this. And somehow, I think just from sheer talent alone, he's still the wide receiver 15. But like
Yeah.
a good portion of this season was when Carson Wentz was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like his better days were when
What?
JJ McCarthy wasn't playing.
Yeah. Do you know which weeks that actually was? Because yeah, it's like his top scoring game was 17.6 in week 4 against Pittsburgh.
That was Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
JJ
And
McCarthy played weeks 1 and 2, and then he's been there since 9 through 12. So weeks 3
wow.
through 8 were Carson Wentz, and that's clearly the better stretch of football that he was playing.
Yeah. He only has 2 double-digit weeks since then, and of those, his high is 13.7. Like last 3 weeks, 5.7, 8.6, 6.8. Like when was he was drafted 10th overall. That's just not what you. I mean, he didn't draft him. He traded for him, I believe. But like,
He did. He traded away Kyron Williams for it, which at the
Yeah.
time everybody was like, "Damn." Like Window got fleeced. Like, no, Window fleeced him. Maybe Window saw the writing on the wall and was like, JJ McCarthy is bad at this.
I think you mixed that up. When Window got Justin Jefferson, right?
Yes. Yeah, no, you're right. Never mind. Sorry, Window. You got fleeced now. No, everyone thought that Window had fleeced Scotty in the situation. Scotty saw the writing on the wall. My bad. I got that backwards.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad.
But
I still there are things about Windows team that I am still afraid of. He still has opportunity. Like Bijan Robinson is still elite. Rico Dowdle has the ability to go off if it's a good matchup. Brock Bowers has shown he can put up 40. And just Window just chimed in with the Jameis Winston experience. Hey, that was working for you when it was Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't know. Is it better for you that you're actually getting Jackson Dart back or not? I don't know. But yeah, no. Obviously, this matchup didn't matter too much overall standings wise. I know Window was kind of asking the question about whether or not he can still catch fifth at this point. I think the answer is no. I think it's all about points, and right now he has the points.
There is a small chance. I have my like simulation thing I can bring up later if we want to do. I just have the breakdown. Basically, Window is a roughly 50-50 to make the playoffs, and it's like 48 of that 50 is winning the wild card. Like he just needs to put up points. That's all he really needs to do. I was surprised it wasn't higher than 50, but I think some of that percentage of him not making the wild card is actually Scotty falling down, and he's like, I think he's around 100 points behind Scotty. But as long as Scotty gets his win, like if anything, I think Window needs to root harder for Scotty to win than even for him his own points, right? Like he needs Scotty to win. This is true. And he needs to continue to put up points.
He needs people who are ahead of him to not fall is also a part of it. And again, we will get into the standings on how that's going to look. So, but not too much more to talk about for this individual matchup.
I was going to say, Jason, at this point, he called out whether we were going to bring up the fact that there's a new last place. Again, when you're in the bottom 5, your place doesn't really matter. You're playing for the wild card. And unfortunately for Jason, I forget how many back, but he's probably not winning. He's probably not getting the wild card.
Probably not. It's not over, but it's yeah. Although actually, I guess we'll see how close to over it is in your we look at your.
If I remember, he's around 0.5%. It's not great.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on
All right,
to.
to the one team in this league who apparently is not flipping coins. Who just puts up 180 every week, and it's absurd.
I don't put up 180 every week. That is hyperbole. I'm only averaging 155. I can't be putting up 180 every week.
I don't think I've broken 150. So your average is higher than my max.
I I'm embarrassed. I really thought I could feel it. I thought I was going to break 200. I hadn't said anything, and then there was a drive where McMillan mentioned it in the chat and was just like, "They're just only targeting Jerry's players." I'm like, "Well, I do have three offensive." I literally was like, "I have the number one wide receiver, the number one running back, and the number one tight end for this offense. Of course, they're going to be targeting them a lot."
Yeah, like your most of your team is like the San Francisco offense, right? Like, if you had Brock Purdy, that would be just the cherry on top. But no, it's like every time I looked at my phone, it's like, oh, your guy got another catch, another touchdown, another.
Yeah, McMillan was trying to baking up a Destiny Slayer. I don't think that was that just wasn't true. Baker Mayfield gets hurt on top of that. I mean, DJ Moore had a good day, but Egbuka takes a big hit without Baker Mayfield. Darius Slayton with a bunch of offense with Jameis Winston. Darius Slayton couldn't do anything. I think David Montgomery is borderline unstartable at this point. He just has. He's still technically the RB24, but like I think unless they're up a bunch, which they just haven't shown that they can do that as much as this year as they were doing it last year. But unless they're up a bunch, I think they're just leaning too much on Jahmyr Gibbs.
So, quick question to you, Jerry. I haven't looked at the last few, but I know Gainwell's had a few good games. Do you ever think about replacing Montgomery with Kenneth Gainwell?
You could. So it was kind of a weird situation because at the last, Jaylen Warren was injured, wasn't sure if he was going to get the start or not. But it seems like, yeah, he's kind of in a timeshare now. I mean, Kenneth Gainwell's had.
What is that?
You there?
Okay, now I can hear you. Sorry, my headset turned off, so I'm not sure. Other people, could you hear Jerry? I could not hear you for the last like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Sean just said technical issue.
Oh, it did. Yeah, it did. It did cut out. So the last I was hearing was, yeah, we were talking about Kenneth Gainwell versus David Montgomery.
Yeah. So yeah, David Montgomery. Yeah.
Like the last 2 weeks for Gainwell, like 26, and then another one with 15.2. Is he?
So Jaylen Warren. Sorry, if anybody else had not heard me or because of the issue, Jaylen Warren was like not expected to play for a good portion of the week. So Gainwell was supposed to get the start, but then Jaylen Warren did, and they pretty much split 50-50. But I was agreeing, like the last 2 weeks, Kenneth Gainwell's been very good, but he's averaging like 15 touches a game, which, I mean, if they're going to split 15 touches a game each, it's kind of hard to know who to start. I mean, they both had a decent day. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he didn't have Jamar Chase. I mean, obviously he only put up 107 points. He wasn't beating me anyways.
Yeah, no.
And it was a tough loss for him because he needed this to kind of fight back into the top 5. And now that he's firmly out, he's a whole game back, and he's still points behind on some people. I think he's kind of in a tough spot here moving forward, especially if Baker Mayfield's not going to play. That directly affects Egbuka's value.
Yeah.
I don't know how you start David Montgomery when they just lean so heavily on Jahmyr Gibbs.
Well, so when I brought up Kenneth Gainwell, I was saying, do you just start the whole Steelers backfield? Do you start Warren and Gainwell instead of Montgomery in this slot?
I guess you could. I mean, I think if the matchup is right, go ahead and do it. But like, I don't think Buffalo's a great matchup for that. I mean, but after that, I mean, they get Baltimore, they get Miami. That's a couple of not as strong of defenses. So it could be a viable strategy moving forward. But unless the Lions are up a bunch, I just don't know. I don't feel comfortable starting David Montgomery.
Yeah, I mean, I know Jason is still in the playoff hunt. Like, I know he's actually the one who's pretty close to Window in terms of points scored. I think Window was ahead of him before this week, and got an extra, what, 25-ish
20
points?
points. Yeah, but I think they were within like 10 going into this week. So I think it's
So
still
like,
close. It's definitely doable to make
two
it up.
2 weeks with a 30 gap. That's doable for sure. And then honestly, I think if he does win his last two, he also just has a chance, depending on how other teams do, to like sneak into the top 5 as well.
Yeah.
And then, obviously you're just going to win. You're just going to be the 1 seed. Like there's a chance Alex overtakes you, but you're going to get a bye either way.
I obviously am. I get the bye no matter what. Yeah, no, I mean, I had a lot of good performances on my team. I mean, traded away Devontae Adams for Amon-Ra. It was still close, but that still turned out to be the right decision, at least for this week.
I just saw you had HN on bye.
HN was on bye.
Like,
Lad McConkey on bye.
You got the RB4 not playing, and you still get 194. Like it's just insane.
I mean,
you're just the only one out here not flipping coins and just getting free W's.
My team is very good. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing against that. I think everyone just needs to reel in expectations a little bit. I still think I would say I'm not a favorite to win the championship at this point against the field.
I'm just gonna keep jinxing you, and then maybe that'll be true.
I'm just gonna keep reversing it here. Yeah, I don't think we need to spend too much time on this matchup. Obviously, my team had that's what I was talking about, how McMillan had called out that everybody on my team, they were only targeting my players. And I literally in that moment was like, oh my God, it's happening. I finally said something. And then immediately Christian McCaffrey had back-to-back losses on plays, like back-to-back runs that went for negative yards. And then the offense just like didn't touch the ball again the rest of the game. It's like, and then I finished short once again.
It might not be you, but it's bound to happen, right? Like someone is going to break 200 with this scoring system, right? Like
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
good to
so.
go in the final matchup here.
Let's get it.
Oh man, I needed this win.
You needed this win, like. But literally would it be in like 7th right now? You would be on the outside looking in of the playoffs if you did not get this win.
With like no chance of a wild card either. I'm so far back in points scored.
Yeah. No, like this win saved your season.
But the thing is like Brad needed this win just as much as I did. Right?
He did.
That's why this was the big. I think we both just really needed a win this week, and thankfully, I used my luck box to get it.
And
myself.
Brad comes out and has the 9th overall points. Yeah, that's about how the luck box would work out, don't you think? You desperately need a win because you're so far behind, and you get to play against the 9th in points scored this week.
What actually was I? Was I even top 5? 1, 2, 3, 4.
You were 5th.
I was 5th. So just an average day, but
average day.
Get a win by 25 or 35.
Like I said, I don't win with less than 130 points. So like you over here talking about how, Sean also puts up 133 and then takes the L. It's like, yeah, no, I get it. That's 133 is not enough to get a win if I'm playing the opponent. So Brad, it's a bad time. No Drake London. Justin Fields has been benched. Alvin Kamara is just like hot garbage. Jordan Mason value is completely gone. I mean, and don't get me wrong, he still has Aaron Jones, but Aaron Jones puts up 7. Woody Marks with 7. Roma Dunze, who had been looking like a wide receiver 1 for the first half of the season, has been hit or miss is the term I'm gonna use right now.
Also, someone said in the chat earlier that Flacco's injured as well.
Flacco's not injured. That's not a thing. Like everybody keeps talking. So he said the same injury for the past, like the entirety of the time that he's been in Cincinnati. He just didn't every week he was limited and then he played. That's just the reality.
Okay. Also, Sean called out in the chat that Kamara also got injured, likely out a few weeks.
Injured, yeah, but he's also been bad for a while.
Yeah,
it's not
he's not had a good year.
Yeah, like it's not just this. He's running back 34. I think he's had 1 or 2. Okay, I guess he's had 4 double-digit days, but like nothing over 13 points.
Yeah.
Like, he just hasn't been who I'm assuming Brad drafted him to be, even though it was still a 6th-round pick, probably his 2nd or 3rd running back. But now, like, Brad's like outside of Devontae Adams, his whole team just did nothing, and he had nothing on the bench that he could have replaced.
No.
It's a bad time. Saquon Barkley he drafted him 5th overall, and he's the 14th running back.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy out here throwing 3 picks, doing everything he can to.
Oh yeah.
lose his starting job to Mac Jones.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Saquon is how many like vulture touchdowns does Jalen Hurts have 1 yard rushes? Like
Not as many as he did last year.
I mean I was gonna say it
This
happened last year, but it just helped that I had both, so I didn't care if they did who ran it in. But I would have been so frustrated last year if I had Saquon Barkley and not Jalen Hurts and saw that happen like a million times.
Yeah. So Jalen Hurts has 8 rushing touchdowns total. I don't know how many of those were tush pushes, but like
Probably most of them.
probably 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in week one of them was a tush push. This last week, in his 2 touchdown day, one was a tush push.
Yeah.
There's a decent chance other ones were, but yeah, I don't know, man. Brad's in a bad spot. He doesn't
Yeah.
have quarterbacks. He doesn't have running backs. His wide receivers, he actually has decent wide receivers. He just needs them to perform because, like, Rome Odunze, Devontae Smith, Devontae Adams all have the ability to be wide receiver ones. Even Drake London actually has the ability to be a wide receiver one as well. Actually,
Yeah.
without playing this last week,
Oh
Drake
yeah,
London
no.
is still
London's
the
been
wide receiver 7.
yeah, London's been great this year.
Yeah, like he
When
actually
he's
has a
healthy.
bunch of good receivers. Like,
Yeah.
I think he still has players. They just
He also missed a game earlier. So he missed earlier and then yeah. And he's had his bye, although I think most teams have. But yeah, no, London's been great, which is why it was nice that I was able to get Mooney. Mooney, I think I just got him off free agents. I don't even think I had to bid for him. And he comes out and puts up 15.
yep.
Also, Rice is just like I was in a lot of trade talks with Rice before he came back, just because I was like nervous, and I'm glad I didn't
Yep.
pull that trigger because he's just putting up 20 a game for me.
I mean, except for when he played Denver.
Yeah, no, when he played Denver, it wasn't a great time, and unfortunately, they play Denver in one of the weeks
In
of
the
the
championship.
playoffs. Yeah,
It's the championship week. That is
so
a bad time. I thought
that's
about
not the
making
best,
another
but
offer to you for him, but I was like, I do not want any part of having to play against Denver in the championship week. Yeah, I mean, your team didn't even do anything. I mean, getting 21 out of Hunter Henry, where the fuck was that when I had him on my team? Like, you went with the double tight end strategy and you got 13 points each, 13 points, right? No, yeah, pretty much 13 and a half points combined per player. So like getting 27 points out of a double tight end scenario is not a winning strategy in the long term. But I will
problem
say
is
you
look at
did
my
make
other
the
options here.
perfect. I was going to say you did make the perfect lineup this way. I don't think you could have done anything better. This was just like this was amazing, team management right here, making sure you didn't bench one of your active players.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into this, but in theory, Bucky Irving is back next week, so that'll be nice. Like if a lot of my injured players can get uninjured, I feel like my team is not like it's no your team, but like it's in a good spot to maybe win a few playoff coin flips. But
The problem that I have with the
my
whole Bucky
current
Irving
team just
situation
looks
is
sad.
so he was amazing for the first 4 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he got hurt. And I literally read a thing today that pretty much said like he's been healthy since week 8.
Yeah, no, everything I saw was it's actually a shoulder, right? Like
No,
he can't
no,
take a tackle.
not even a shoulder. No, not even a shoulder. What I read today is he has been healthy since week 8, but he is like taking mental health days.
Oh.
Essentially, is what he is doing. It's like the thing I read was like he did not take getting injured well for his mental health, and he is like having to deal with all of it to get back on the field. Is what I read today. And maybe that was just kind of like a bullshit clickbait headline. Because I
Yeah.
didn't like go in and read a whole story about it. But that is what I saw. Because like I feel like every week for the last like 4 weeks, it's been like he's probably gonna play. Oh, nope, he's out again.
So like I said, what I read, and maybe what you're saying is actually maybe the thing I was reading was bullshit, but like they said that his it was his ankle originally, right? It says ankle was good from
It was
like
a foot, but yeah.
Yeah, his foot was good like a few weeks after, but that when he tried to take any contact, he had a shoulder injury that he just couldn't take hits. And it's like, okay, if you're going to be an NFL running back, like you're going to take like 20 hits a day from very large, strong,
From the biggest,
athletes.
strongest, most athletic humans possible,
Yeah.
doing everything they can to hunt you down. Yeah.
So I really hope that what I have read was true and that he actually will be back this week, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think the expectation is that he's going to play this week, but
Yeah.
I've heard that song and dance before.
Okay. Do we want to go to the
So, yeah.
standings then?
Yep. So that
Or do we
wraps
go
up
to the
week
offer?
12. Yes, we can go to the standings. Obviously, me and Alex, I guess Alex technically hasn't fully locked up the bye yet. 2 weeks to go, but he's up 2 games.
He's
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 up two
he's
games,
he's up
but
two
he's
games
also up
on
by
he's up 2 games on just me, and
yep,
he's almost exactly 200 points ahead of me.
200
So
points up. So you'd have to outscore him by 100 each
each week.
game the next 2 weeks. I think Alex is pretty locked into the
Yeah.
bye. Also, similar situation on the reverse side of that. I think I have. Oh no, I guess I need a win this week to lock up the number 1 seed. I'm only 1 game up
Yeah.
on Alex, but in reality, I'm 2 games up on Alex because he would have to make up almost 300 points.
He would have to. Jesus, yeah. That's not happening either.
Yeah.
So essentially,
Yeah.
if he
I
wins,
need to lose both. He needs to win both. Yeah.
yeah. And do you guys play each other at all or no?
No. I
Okay,
play
so
Window and then I play Sean.
okay. So you would have to lose to Window and Sean, and Alex. He plays me. I don't know who else he plays, but he's gonna have to win both games. So most likely it's gonna be you in the 1 spot, Alex in the 2 spot. Who fucking knows in the rest of it? That's like it's in the same situation where you're talking about like you're basically 2 games up on Alex, but in reverse for me, I'm basically like half a game up on Sean, right? Like if Sean gets a win, I get a loss. Same with Scotty. Brad's the one exception. I think I'm pretty close. Oh, I took the points lead back from Brad. I'm up by 3 points. So
Yeah.
Brad,
Very, very close.
if Brad and I are tied, I will actually win that tiebreaker, at least for now. But other than that, I'm not winning a tiebreaker against either Sean or Scotty. So like, if either of them win and I lose, I'm dropping.
So I was actually thinking about this the other day. And I've sent you a message about it, like, and this kind of is going to loop back into the conversation that Sean and I had about whether it is right to throw a game to help your situation. And I brought up the fact of like, if we are in a spot, if Window's in a spot, because in the final week of the season, he plays McMillan. If McMillan gets a win this week and say Brad gets, let's say both Brad and McMillan gets wins this week. McMillan is up on the points total and Brad. Let's say Brad's taking the L. Like Brad is 100% going to lose. If Window lets McMillan win, because again, he has a 35-point lead. Let's say McMillan or Window drops, just benches 1 player and loses him 10 points, loses him the matchup.
I think that's something where. So first of all, I'm personally of the view that that's if anything it takes to better your team, like it's like you do. We've had this discussion so many times, but I think it would be weird to do that like going into Sunday. But I think there's definitely something to be said. Like, okay, Sunday into Monday, you pretty much have it locked up as long as as long as you do get the L. You obviously bench a player, right? Like I actually think that's
like taking a loss there actually is beneficial for you.
Yeah. So I don't think that's even controversial.
Yeah.
I think the biggest controversial thing is people have had is if you just bench your whole team just to give the other team a free win just for matchup purposes. And I can see both sides of that.
Maybe that's a little bit
purely
less,
like you would not get into the playoffs,
for this. But the fact is like that could actually happen. Like there could be a scenario where Window is going to need McMillan to get a win to say force you or Brad down into the bottom 5 to allow him to move himself up. It's kind of crazy that the system that we have set up has allowed for a scenario where Window might be like, I should lose this week. As close as possible, but I should lose.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, he's not going to be benching a ton of people because he also is going to need the points scored, right? Like, he needs to make sure he has that locked up before he starts benching players.
Which he has a 35-point lead. I was thinking also from just, it could be a scenario of like, hey, he's up 35 points. Say he adds 30 more points to that this week.
Yeah.
Like you could do that with 1 week to go. It's like, are you really losing by 60 plus if you bench a player or two?
I don't know.
Obviously, like that's the closest example I could come up with, just because of that. But like, because obviously he doesn't want Sean or Scott to fall down, because then he,
Yeah, I mean he's 1, 2, 3. Has the 5th highest points scored, and he's in 8th place right now.
Yep.
It's just that's why I like I said, I think he's roughly 50-50 to get the wild card. He's in a good spot, but obviously he really, really needs Scott and Sean to win.
Yeah.
and not drop below top five. All right.
Yeah.
Should we get into the offer report, or is there anything else you wanted
Yes.
to talk about the standings?
Nope. I think we're good. I think everything else is pretty straightforward there. I mean, I guess I could just very briefly speak to the fact of like this little log jam of like 4, 5, 6. If you lose this week, McMillan wins this week. The difference between like I actually think like there's a scenario where you're in third right now. If you lose this week, you might be back out of the playoff,
Mhm.
like out of playoff position. Like
Yeah, no, like I think so. Okay, so let me just say, 2 weeks ago, I think I had myself as like something like 20% to make the playoffs, and I remember saying like, okay, I think I really need to go 3-1. I think if I go 3-1, I make the playoffs. If I go 2-2, that's not going to be good enough. Since then, I've gotten 2 wins. I think there's been some beneficial things to me where other teams that could have gotten wins have gotten losses. So I now think that I might actually be okay if I lose the last two. But I think
I don't know,
I
man.
still think I need a win in one of the
I think you
next
do.
2 weeks to get it. Um, yeah,
Sean, you might not get an L in week 14.
it's it.
Satan might
Oh,
bless you and,
it's
and want you to win.
it's also worth noting that I know I play Scotty at least one more. So if I lose both my games, that also means Scotty gets at least one more win, and that passes me already, even if he goes 1-1 and I go
Damn.
0-2. So yeah, I'm feeling cautiously optimistic about at least making the playoffs again.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to not make the playoffs. So
Trust me, once you're eliminated from the playoffs, you're going to be so relaxed. Don't have to worry about anything. It's all good.
other
That's
than
not true.
Osaka,
That's not true,
yeah, I was like,
actually.
what?
Yeah. It's actually way worse for the first like week or two. Okay. Offers report.
Yeah, let's get into
I
that.
will say I didn't actually do like a deep dive into the offers report before we're doing it right now. Obviously, okay, yeah, actually not as many bids on Devin Neal as I was expecting there to be. Um, I had another situation this week where I thought about putting a bid on him, and I've kind of said I don't really want to drop anybody else. I don't need him. I also just don't want anything to do with a New Orleans Saints player. That's kind of been my strategy for the season. It's worked out pretty well for me so far.
Yeah, no, pretty overall uneventful waiver wire. I think there was one. I'm trying to remember it now. I think there was one person who had like multiple bids, but then didn't actually get added because they actually just added someone else that went through. I think it looks like two people put in bids on Parker Washington,
Yep.
but
Because I
Alex
mean,
be but
sometimes
be but because Alex got Jaden Reed instead and Sean got Devin Neal instead, neither of them actually went through. So looks
so
like
if either
Alex
of
was
you want Parker Washington, you can go get him. Free
yeah.
agency right now.
Parker Washington got a $63 bid and is currently a free agent, I think.
Yeah. Um. Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, I mean,
Pretty
I
uneventful.
I bid a
No.
little
I mean,
high
no
for it.
snipes.
Yeah, no. Yes, I think I bid a little high for a defense when no one else was bidding on them at all. But other than that, just some $0
Yeah.
bids, some
Yeah.
$5.
75 is a little high for a defense in general.
I honestly don't remember who they're playing. I just know it's such a good matchup, and
It
I'm just in a position where I just really want to lock up a win. Unfortunately, I remember I was looking; they have a terrible playoff schedule, so not going
they
to be
don't.
actually.
Yeah, they don't have a great playoff schedule, but like they get the Raiders, and the Raiders have not been good. They're like one of the bottom 3 or 4 people against defenses. But the only problem that I have with like streaming defenses and like going against the best ones, like sometimes you still want the defense that you're streaming to be okay, right? Like no, the Chargers have been like they're the 20th ranked defense.
I mean, last week I actually had the Raiders defense is who I streamed, but they
Yeah,
were
like, and I think the Raiders
and
are even further down on that list.
but I
Like,
think they had like a pick and 3 sacks, and like they got me like what I think it was like 6 or 7 points.
yeah, playing against Cleveland with a
Yeah,
rookie quarterback, who
yeah,
you probably expected a little bit more. But again, the Raiders
yeah,
defense hasn't been amazing either. So
yeah.
I don't know. I've kind of like as I've been looking at some of these, I'm like maybe I take a little bit less or a little bit worse of a streaming matchup wise to have a higher ranked defense who's already been performing well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So
And especially as we get closer to the playoffs, like having a better defense also helps just for future games when they're not playing the Raiders.
this is true.
All right. Do we want to get into next week's matchups?
Yes, let's do that. Let's go to the scoreboard. Once again, as always, we start with the commissioner's matchup. Um, Now, while this matchup is important for playoff standings, only one person really playing for the playoffs here is Jason in theory playing for points, but Sean needs this win.
Yeah.
Like he
I mean,
he needs the win here.
I will say like I'm going to disagree on the need. He wants to win, but if he
Let me
does drop,
hold on,
but if he
hold on,
does
hold on.
drop, he's going to win the wild card, right? He's going to make the wild card.
So the reason I say that I think that he needs the win is because he is pretty unlikely to not win next week.
Yeah.
Which maybe you're right, and maybe it is the wild card situation, but don't you think he'd rather not be in the wild card, not have that potential? Because who knows what Scott, if both him and Scotty lose the next 2 weeks, maybe there's a chance that both of them are sitting in that.
Oh, that's true.
Like there's some potentials. I think Sean gets a win this week. He is for sure in the playoffs, no doubt about it. He loses this week, and again, he's not going to be a favorite next week. There's a real chance that he could miss the playoffs.
Yeah. Well,
He
also,
wins this week. There's no doubt he's in.
yeah, for sure. The one question I had, we are doing the rule where the 3 seed gets to pick their opponent between 5 and 6, right?
I believe that we are doing both the 3 seed picks between 5 and
then
6, and then the 1 seed picks what side of the bracket they want to be on.
Okay. Yeah, because originally I was thinking like if I end up as the 3, you kind of actually would rather be 6 than 5, right? But then either way, I'm just going to pick who I get to play, so it wouldn't matter. I have by no means locked up the 3, like not at all.
Yeah.
But if that were to happen, I think people would rather play me than a Sean or a Scotty who might be in that 4 and 5 spot.
This is true.
But again, that's not
But
going
the
to be
3 seed, 3
that's
gets
not
to
going to
pick
be
it.
their choice either way. So
I actually thought about that, and like as I looked at the standings earlier today, I I was like, man, I think I want Zach to really come in third here. Because if he comes in third, probably it's the scenario, most likely scenario is
so you
that
would pick to be on my side.
Scotty and Sean would end up in the 4 or 5. You would
Oh,
obviously
shit.
in this situation probably is taking the wild card instead of picking Sean or Scotty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm over here looking at it. I was like, I might be able to pick this scenario where I'm on the side of the bracket with the 4th, 5th, and 6th best teams instead of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Like,
Yeah, no,
I could be
and
could be in that scenario.
even if it's not, even if those aren't the details, like if I think I'm probably going to be like one of the lower scoring teams to make the playoffs if I make the playoffs. So if you were to pick my side of the bracket, you're going to be playing either me or obviously I'm going to pick the worst player left, right?
The worst
So
two on left.
so
Exactly.
you're gonna be
So I'm
playing,
over here rooting for you to be the 3 seed.
yeah, yeah. I actually had not thought about that at all. I'm not sure. I'm like, should I actually try to not be the 3 seed?
I think that you need to try to be
'Cause
the
I
3
could-
seed because there's a real possibility that if you're not the 3 seed, you're not in the playoffs.
That's true. Yeah, and honestly, no matter where I am, you might just pick my side of the bracket. So
That is true. I do have that. I would have that ability if I end up becoming the 1 seed, which
Yeah.
there is still no guarantee that that is what is going to happen.
yeah. All right, but in terms of this prediction, it looks to me like both teams have set their lineups.
It is looking like that is the case.
So
trying
right
to see if
now,
there's anybody-
Sean is projected by 4.3.
So the only thing that I think could potentially change here.
Oh yeah, let me view the benches as well.
So yeah,
Oh,
so
it
I'm
doesn't
looking
show
at
the
the
bench. Here we go.
you can hit the unhide bench thing.
Yeah,
So I'm a little surprised, confused, disappointed. I don't know what the correct word I probably should use right now. But Jason not able to make a trade to trade away one of his quarterbacks. Joe Burrow currently expected to play tomorrow in his IR spot. He cannot activate him out of the IR spot until he drops one of his quarterbacks.
Oh, which is either Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones, or Dak Prescott.
Which I assume the answer there would be Trevor Lawrence, but I know he was trying to trade him. I don't know. Like
The QB 13 is you're just going to end up dropping in a 2 QB league. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that that's kind of insane.
Sean just chimed in saying, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I offered Jason Cortland Sutton for Daniel Jones. Yeah, I don't know that I would take that. I think obviously if he was going to try and trade one of the quarterbacks, the answer here would probably try to offload Trevor Lawrence. But yeah, no, I get it. And that's kind of the reason why I kind of threw out the hey, by the way, everybody, trade deadline's ending at noon. Like make. I was hoping for a splash at the end of the trade deadline. It didn't happen.
Yeah, Alex and I were talking a little bit for something last week, and we just couldn't really come to something. And I think I was better off for it because looking at results, I think I would have lost whatever trade we did. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if maybe Jason drops somebody, swaps in Dak or excuse me, Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow has a pretty good matchup this week going against the Ravens. But who knows? Maybe he doesn't want to start him over Daniel Jones or Dak Prescott, and he's going to hold on for a week and see what happens. But anyways, who you got?
um, let's see. So yeah, Sean is a roughly 5 point favorite, but sorry, I haven't really looked at these yet at all. Didn't do my preparation work. Daniel Jones is questionable. Is he gonna play? Haven't seen
Who?
what that. Daniel Jones, he's listed as
I
questionable.
think the expectation is that he's going to play,
Yeah, and even if he doesn't, he just plug in Trevor Lawrence, and if he's plug in
or
or Joe
Joe Burrow.
Burrow, one of the
Yeah.
two. Yeah,
Yeah, Sean is a 5 point favorite. It has it as a 52-48 split. I think,
yeah. It's just it's a coin flip, right? Like the projections are close enough that
yeah.
it's sort of a,
I
he's got the prop as D. Yeah. Ooh. Like honestly, I think this is just gonna be a really close matchup. I'm just gonna try to manifest a Jason win and Sean going to 6-7, and I'm going to pick Jason. I can see this matchup going either way, but I'm taking Jason. I
You're
think he's
taking
gonna.
Jason.
I don't think he's gonna stay in 10th the whole time. I think he's gonna get back in front of James. I think he's gonna get this W, and Sean's gonna need to get the wild
Yeah,
card because he's got you
Sean
after that.
just Sean just chimed in. Diggs revenge game after I traded him to Jerry, and then I eventually traded him to Jason. I do think that
Oh,
Diggs is going to have a good day. He's it was kind of a weird week last week. The entire Patriots offense didn't do that much, but still got the win. But no, Diggs has been really good since those trades have happened. I mean, he 11.3, 13.1, 15 against the Jets. Not a great week last week, no touchdown, but like the Giants' pass defense is not great. Is how I'm going to put it right now. But I think that Sean has the better team here. Lamar gets Cincy. Puka Nakua gets Carolina. Yeah, no, I think I got to go with Sean here. I think it's probably a little bit more leaning to Sean than this essentially 50-50 prediction that ESPN's giving it.
all right. Well, my percentage so far is 0%. So this is gonna be a
This is
make
my
or,
this is my chance. This is my shot to catch up to Sean. I'm going to go 5-0 this week where he goes 0-0. We're good to go.
oh man. Should we get Sean's predictions as well
No,
offline,
no,
or
Sean,
or just
Sean,
because he's not on the
don't you
podcast,
say
he
a
doesn't
word.
get to do it?
This is a podcast only thing. Sean, you don't say a word.
He might be a little busy too.
I don't know. He's been pretty active in the chat. I think he could have snuck home and done this podcast, Sean.
All right. Do you want to get then into the Alex and James matchup? Is James going to move one step closer to 6-8, or is Alex going to get his W?
I do think this is where James's I think this is where James's win streak comes to an end.
Jesus, all these check boxes here. It's like he's got Josh Allen over Jordan Love. He's got Derrick Henry over Jahmyr Gibbs, and then
A lot of check
like
marks on the
like
opposite side there. So
yeah.
I obviously the whole JJ McCarthy situation, he has 0 right now. So this projection is obviously a little bit
Oh
skewed. He's
right.
not a 30-point under. He's not a 28-point underdog. Like assuming James plugs in a quarterback here,
But he,
it
he
should
doesn't have one
be
on his bench, so
doesn't have one
he'd
of
have
this.
to
It's going
stream
to
one.
be yeah, like go stream a quarterback. There's half a dozen quarterbacks available. Sean just said Ash currently napping. I don't know what that means. Is that
I assume Ash is Ashley.
oh, got it. Okay. I was over here like Ash currently napping. I was like, has your son been born? Is his name Ash and he's napping right now? I'm confused. Ashley's, you're almost certainly right. You are correct. Um, let's see. Yeah, I think this is obviously where James's win streak comes to an end. As much as I would love James, as much as I would like to do what you said that you want to do in the previous matchup, I'd love to manifest a win for James so I can 100% lock up the 1 seed. I just don't see that happening, and I need to make up some wins here to catch Sean in the prediction game.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying that would be an amazing name, Sean, if that is what you named your child.
Ash Ketchum Fitzgerald. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Alex too. This is just like I said. Like honestly, Josh Allen, if anything, has been for a number one overall pick, he's been a little disappointing this year. I think Derrick Henry's mostly been good, but then the rest of his team is just real bad. Like, yeah, like okay, do you want Josh Jacobs or Trayvon Henderson, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown? Like just across the board, like it's all these checks and they're not close either, right? It's not like oh man, I guess Lamb is a little bit better than. It's like no, like just up and down. Alex's team is so much better than James's. It's not close. Alex is going to win. James is going to be at least 4-9. Maybe he can get to 5-9, but I think it's be 4-9.
So, well, I agree with like 90% of what you just said. The one thing that I have to quickly take exception to is saying that Josh Allen has been disappointing as the number one overall player taken. I don't know what you want Josh Allen to do.
Okay, maybe I just had a misperception of him. Maybe I just remembering these like 8-point days, although he only had one single digit. Okay, I take that
one
back.
single digit.
Looking at this, I was like,
he's the number one fantasy quarterback. He is the number 3 overall point scorer in fantasy football, only sitting behind Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor right now. I think he was an okay number one overall pick.
Yeah, and if anything, Derrick Henry has been out of the two of those that.
Yeah, Derrick Henry has been. I mean, he's a running back 11. It's not bad, but he's the one that's been very up and down, and obviously a big portion of that was Lamar Jackson being out for a few weeks there.
Yeah.
So that didn't help his stock. But Josh Allen is him. I thought about I don't know. You tell me. Like I really thought about throwing a trade offer to James this morning for Josh Allen. And I don't know if it would have been too far gone. I'm trying to remember what the exact offer was, but it was Jalen Hurts. I think it was Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, and then it was like it might have been Ladd McConkey. And I think that in general,
just a 3-for-1.
It would be a 3-for-1, which also then means he drops Mac Jones, who isn't the starter. He drops Sam Laporta, who's on IR.
He doesn't even need to drop him. He just needs to move him to an IR spot.
So I think that was kind of it was. I don't remember if that's exactly what it was, but it was something like that. And I was like, "Is this worth doing?" But then I really kind of looked at the optics of it, and I know obviously we're playing to avoid last here, and that is a thing. But if I'm trading with James in that situation and getting Josh Allen, I think the league would revolt.
Also, to me, it's also more of a okay. James is like struggled to set a lineup each week. Yeah. If you're trading with him, it's not. We all know what happened, right? Like we all know it wasn't him reaching out to you and saying, "Hey, I really want an upgrade here, so I don't win the Sacco." It's just you're throwing him out of trade. He's being like, "Oh, who's on my team again?" Okay. Right, like that's more than I was thinking too. The optics of it.
Yeah,
it'd be one thing if he was making like regular moves. He was like trying to deal players a lot just to like get out of the Sacco, and then made another trade. I don't think that would have been quite as bad. Yeah. But if it's someone who's like he's made like no moves this season, right? Like, yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right. So we both have Alex.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yeah. This was one of the easier ones. And then we have your matchup, where Jesus, you're projected for 160. Like,
yeah, that's kind of a regular.
Until this year, this just hasn't like I don't think I'd seen a projection more than like 135, and it's just like the fact that you're projected to put up 160 when I'm pretty sure our league average is like 125. Like you're just projected to win by 35 over the average player is kind of gross.
My team is good. I am not pretending like it's not. Who you got?
I'm just like scanning through this to see if I can see any ray of light for why Window would possibly have an edge here, and I'm not seeing anything. I will say to Window, he also doesn't care if he gets this win, right? Like
the result
he's
of the
going for the
matchup doesn't
points.
matter. It's the points.
Like
This
if
is true.
he loses 180 to 150, he's gonna be ecstatic, right? Like if he just needs to put up points. Like we were saying, there's like a weird fringe universe where he somehow sneaks his way into fifth place, but I don't think that's very realistic. So to him, he doesn't really care.
I don't think so either.
I'm still going to predict though, as if this is a matchup and this was like real football. Like you're going to win. It's not close. Like your team is just too good. I just like I said, I'm trying to see any upside where like Window could make up this big of a projection gap, and I'm seeing absolutely nothing. Like,
so I'm going to give you the reasons why Window can win.
Okay.
I did this last week. I'm going to do it again this week. Here are the reasons that Window can win. He gets Jackson Dart back. Jackson Dart has the full ability to go out there and put up 25 or 30 points. Bijan Robinson gets the Jets. Bijan Robinson is a top 5 running back. He is fully capable of going out there and putting up 30 points. Rico Dowdle has already shown on 2 separate occasions here he is fully capable of going out there and putting up 30 points. Wan'Dale Robinson just went out and had a 26-point day with Jackson Dart on the bench. Now he has Jackson Dart. He gets that stack. Justin Jefferson still has the talent. JJ McCarthy, questionable to play this week. If he doesn't play, whoever comes in probably going to be better at getting him the ball. I'm just assuming because JJ McCarthy has been like historically bad. Like I think the thing I read was like on like a Pro Football Focus thing of like over the last like 30 years, like he's like the second worst quarterback of all time, like passer rating wise. Like he's horrendously bad.
Do you remember who last was?
I don't know. If it wouldn't surprise me if it was like Nathan Peterman or whatever his name was, like the guy for the Bills before Josh Allen was there, who like in a half threw 5 picks in his first start. Like,
sorry, just real quick, I want to pull up JJ McCarthy just to see what he looked like. So he started off the year 22. That wasn't bad, but then
but if you watched that game, you'll know that he did nothing for the first 3 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter threw like 3 touchdown passes. It was pretty crazy. The comeback that they had.
Let me also just read his stat line: 13 for 20 for 143 yards.
How many touchdowns?
It's because he had 2 rushes for 25 with a rushing touchdown and 2 touchdowns in his free throw. So 13 for 20 for 143. All his value was from the 2 passing touchdowns and the 1 rushing touchdown. Other than that, it's nothing. But then the next week he goes out and puts up 2.82, although I think that's the game he might have gotten injured.
Maybe.
So he's out for a few weeks. Then he comes back, puts up 18, then 14. But again, very touchdown dependent.
He's getting worse. Yeah. I mean, he had a touchdown run in that 18-point day, though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, very touchdown dependent here.
If he doesn't get a rushing touchdown, he's like not putting up 15 points.
Yeah, and just looking at his like completion percentage, right? Like 14 for 25, 20 for 42, 16 for 32, 12 for 19. Like he's completing like barely half his passes, and then
like 50%. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, it's that time, Bob. His line this last week: 12 for 19, throwing for 87 yards with 2 interceptions, and then 2 carries for 10 yards.
Yeah,
like if he doesn't get those 2 carries, he's at negative 0.52.
That's true. So
anyway, sorry. Back to the actual
assuming Justin Jefferson. I say at any moment, Justin Jefferson is still one of the most talented wide receivers. Brock Bowers has shown he can go off for 30 plus points in a game. Caleb Williams actually been looking really good the last like month or so. I think he's averaging like 20 points per game over the last month. Like Window has already this season had a 195-point day.
Yeah,
like there was that. I think that's what he put up, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, he broke 190 for sure. But then, so all that said, you're still taking yourself, right? like you're pumping up fucking like Caleb Williams and Justin Jefferson, and it's like, oh, but then on the other side you have Achane, you have Chase Brown, you have JSN,
you have 191.94 in that.
Like just
so. No, like
fucking
so
Christian McCaffrey, Jalen
having
Hurts,
said all of that,
like
there is a world, there is a scenario that Window wins this matchup.
Yeah,
it's just probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
So no, I've realized that once I kind of have locked up the bye and locked up the 1 seed, and I can start picking myself to win. The karmic gods are on my side at this point for that. No, like I think my team is better right now. I think Window's team is still dangerous. He does have good players. He has players that can go off for large amounts of points. He's done it already this season. But no, I'm going to pick myself to win this matchup. one
All right.
step closer to the 1 seed. And again,
Yeah.
window doesn't need, it's funny because neither one of us need the win. It's all about the points.
I mean, you don't even need the point. No, I mean, you kind of need the win if you want the 1 seed, because then
Kind of need the win.
just being able to pick, like honestly, being able to pick which side of the bracket you're on is huge.
That's true.
Um, all right, now do we want to get into the matchup where both of these teams do need wins?
Yes.
Yeah, we got Jason McMillan, who hasn't come up with a new team name yet. I don't know if he's going to stick with this one the rest of the way or if he's going to have a new one for Brad.
A
But
part of me was hoping that he was going to come up with another one, but you
yeah,
know,
and
I
then
think the last couple of weeks has deterred him as he continues to lose.
and then we got Brad with his team name that no one understands, who doesn't play the whatever game he plays.
It's just a game. It's just a board game called Arc Nova. So then it's Saquon Barkley. So Bark Nova. That's all. That's literally all it is.
Right.
No, but yeah, you are right. Both of these teams desperately need to win. Like, I actually, not even actually. I mean, Brad's a game up, but I think Brad needs this win more though.
Yeah,
like Brad cannot win. Brad cannot win the wild card. McMillan still can.
Yeah, he
Brad desperately needs it.
He can't win the wild card. He's also not going to win a tiebreaker, right? So like, if he's 7-7 with his amount of points, he's not super confident about it, right? Like,
probably not.
Whereas like if McMillan wins too and gets to 7-7, like he could be winning tiebreakers and he could be getting into the top 5. So I think I agree. I think they both need a win, but I think Brad's season is more on thin ice if he loses than if McMillan
season's
does.
on the line.
So the one thing I'll say is Brad, classic Brad, has not set his lineup. He's going to need a quarterback because Joe Flacco is currently projected to not play. The only quarterback on his bench is Justin Fields, who has also
been benched.
Yeah.
No, obviously he's going to need to stream a quarterback. There are quarterbacks out there. Again, there's like half a dozen quarterbacks out there available to be picked up, or probably. So I'm assuming somewhere in the range of 12 to 15 points
10,
to his projection.
10, 15.
Yeah, I think it would be more than 10, but probably less than 15 is probably.
Which right now the line is 10.4. So in theory, if he does stream a quarterback, according to the ESPN projections, he will most likely be the favorite.
Brad's just in a tough spot. Like not having Drake London really sucks for him.
I was just seeing if McMillan had anyone on the bench that he might put in, but I think he set his lineup.
I think his lineup is essentially set here. And again, outside of the quarterback situation that Brad's going to have to correct, I think that he, assuming that Brad actually makes the correction at quarterback, I think Brad does get this win.
Want to give some thoughts on why?
What's that?
You want to explain why?
I think Devontae Smith gets a really good matchup here playing against Chicago. Devontae Adams doesn't get the best matchup against Carolina, but Devontae Adams just does not stop scoring touchdowns. They are not running the ball on the goal line. Like when they get into within the 5-yard line, it is set Devontae Adams up one-on-one. It's Puka on one side, and the safety has to help because it's Puka Nacua. So Devontae Adams gets one-on-one, and it's which side do you want to defend? Do you want to defend the slant or do you want to defend the fade? And he has now scored 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 touchdowns in the last 5 games.
I'm pretty sure I saw the stat of it. It showed the yardage of his last 6 touchdown catches, and they were 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, 1 yard. It's just all they're going to get to the 1 yard line and just throwing him up 50-50s in man coverage, and he's winning his matchups.
He's winning it, yeah. But 9 touchdowns over the last 5 games, which I think that there's eventually going to be some touchdown regression. I have to imagine eventually there's going to be some touchdown regression because consistently just averaging a touchdown and a half every single game doesn't seem realistic. But again, he's essentially their goal line back. They don't run the ball down there. So I expect him to score more points. Also, if JJ McCarthy is playing, hey, guess what? He has the number 2 defense in the Seattle Seahawks playing against a quarterback who just cannot stop turning the ball over.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. Yeah, they have Minnesota. I wish this view also showed the view of your opponent's rank against your team.
That would be nice, but it doesn't. But yeah, no, like I said, Devontae Smith gets the 26th rank. Roma Dunze gets a middling defense in Philadelphia, pass-wise, they're 17th. I do think that Brad has some people who can go off. Again, the quarterbacks, depending upon who he puts in a quarterback, might also make a difference on all this. So, kind of
Yeah.
wondering who he's going to go out there and get. Right now would be the time to go out and get a quarterback because it is free agency, and those people aren't going to sit there forever. Especially since we have now talked about two separate people who need a quarterback to start this week. So
Yeah.
probably should go get them.
The other thing to keep in mind is I'm wondering, I don't know their scenarios, but both players have two questionable players.
Yeah,
If Brad
I
loses either Devontae Smith or Saquon Barkley, he doesn't have a ton on the bench that looks.
this is true. I
Whereas,
think
like, if
overall,
McMillan loses Genty, he's going to put in, I guess, Gainwell most likely, and I'll put in Tua if Mayfield doesn't play.
yeah, I don't love a lot of his matchups. I think honestly the best matchup that I like of McMillan is the Pittsburgh going against Buffalo. Like Buffalo's giving up the third most points to running backs, but maybe this is now the time to do a start both Jalen Warren
Yeah.
and Kenneth Gainwell scenario. But if you don't, you're kind of just hoping one or the other is the one that gets the majority of the work or gets the touchdown this week. I don't know. I also don't know how I feel. I mean, Jamar Chase gets a decent matchup against Baltimore, but I just don't know how I feel about really starting anybody receiver wise in that offense when it's Joe Burrow's first game back.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like as somebody who has Chase Brown, I hope the offense obviously does well and the passing attack is viable because then it opens up the run. But as of right now, that's kind of how I'm thinking about it is I don't know how much I trust Joe Burrow in the first game back anyways.
Yeah. No, I mean, so I think generally it's going to be pretty close. Like, obviously, just the line is pretty close once Brad actually streams a quarterback. I do think that his just depth is a huge concern. Do, is there any word on like what Smith and Barkley's chances of are playing? I'm not really familiar with the injuries they have. Because I think I would generally lean Brad if these lineups are set and everyone plays. I think if Brad's having to replace either Saquon or Smith, like that definitely gives the edge to McMillan.
Um, Let me see. Barkley's gonna play. I think. I mean, he's been limited the last 2 days, but
I was
like
gonna say I
I
thought
think he's gonna
he
play.
left last game early, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually not 100% sure, but I think he's gonna play. Who's the other person you said? Devontae Smith.
Yeah, both Eagles players.
Um, Devontae Smith much more unlikely to play. He's been a DNP the last 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. He was a
Oh,
DNP at practice. So Devontae Smith probably not playing at this point is what I would assume. But Barkley probably will.
which means that
Um,
unless he's streaming someone that's Josh Downs instead of Devontae Smith, don't really like that.
don't love it.
All
Yeah,
right,
no, that's true. But I'm sticking. I'm gonna have some take integrity here. I'm gonna stick with Brad.
all right. Just like I said, I think if this lineup actually all plays, Brad's gonna have a slight edge, but with that, I think I'm gonna pick JC McMillan. Also, we all know that there's some percentage chance that Brad doesn't set his lineup and he actually just starts Joe Flacco.
I don't think that will happen.
We'll see.
It better not. It
Yeah,
better not.
he hasn't been as bad as James, but there's
But he
just
has,
always
but he
that.
has, but he has done it. He did start Brock Purdy when he was not playing.
Yeah.
Um. All right.
All right.
Next
Good to
matchup.
go into the last matchup of the day.
Yep.
All right. Again, a game that I wouldn't say it's quite as desperate as it was for me last week, but I think this week both of us really need a win here too. Like I think a win for me pretty much locks up the playoffs. It means that I'm going to be at worst 8-6. A win from Scott puts him at 7-6. Honestly, he's going to pass me. He's going to jump probably into the 3 spot if he gets the win because I'm getting the loss, right? Scotty also mentioned that apparently, according to the stats that were shared earlier, Scotty, despite having the best win percentage in the league, has yet to beat me in a matchup ever.
Oh, I thought it
Um,
was the other way around. I thought he had never lost to you.
no, I've won every matchup. See, I
Oh,
won.
wow.
He put up 133 and lost to me earlier in the year. I put up
Damn.
139.
No, yeah, it's right there. It does say that. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you desperately need this. You win this, you're in the playoffs. If you lose this, there's a really, like I said, you might just after this loss, if things don't go the way you would want, like if you lose and Sean and Brad win, you are
Yeah.
fully on the outside looking in. Like,
Yeah.
I think you
So is that
really
going to
need this
happen?
one. I I think Scotty is going to win this matchup. I think as I go down the list, like probably would prefer to have Patrick Mahomes over Drake May this week. Probably, I don't know. Drake May also gets the Giants, and everybody crushes the Giants. I don't even know if that's true. Kyron Williams gets a really good matchup. Jacoby Myers gets a really good matchup. Keenan Allen gets a really good
Yeah, I'm just
matchup.
like looking at all these
Travis Etienne
matchups
gets a
on.
really good matchup. Bo Nix gets a really good matchup.
Yeah.
The Jaguars get as good of a matchup as you can get. I mean, obviously, he has T. Higgins sitting on his bench because he's going to be injured, because that's the thing that happens. It's not anybody's fault.
I also have a lot of cues on my lineup right now. Bucky Irving. Again, we talked about him earlier. Like, there's, I guess, still a chance he doesn't
I,
play.
I think he is going to play this week. I was just pointing out earlier, like how much of an issue it has been for
Yeah.
every week. Oh yeah, he's supposed to be. It's like he's day to day. He's a game time decision. Oh no, he didn't play, and then the next week he's a game time decision, and then he doesn't play. He was a full participant in practice today, so I believe he is going to play this week. And again, perfect timing for you because you desperately need him to play this week.
Yes,
Because if he
absolutely.
does not, if he doesn't play, who are you starting as your second running back? Devin Singletary playing against the number
Yeah.
one New England defense against running backs. I don't think you love that. DeMarcado, who's not even the starter, maybe
No.
change of pace back at best. Like, no, you desperately. If Bucky Irving doesn't play, I don't think you have a shot.
Yeah, no. And then Marvin Harrison's been out the last few weeks. I think he's expected to play, but he's still technically listed as questionable.
Yeah. Let me see.
Which if either of my wide receivers don't play, I do have Debo Samuel
I
I
think
can
he's
plug
going to play.
in. I do have Brian Thomas Jr. that I can plug in if he plays. It's more that if one of my running backs doesn't play. I mean, honestly, I already don't like that I have to start fucking Tony Pollard as a running back,
I love
right?
it.
Like he's
Yeah.
been a ridiculous disappointment this year. I've been starting Tony Pollard
And he also
and
doesn't get a great matchup.
no. So like, yeah, no. Honestly, all that said, like
I got to go Scotty on it.
I obviously need the win. Obviously, history's on my side, but I think this is the game that Scotty gets his first win. Because looking at all those matchups, the one thing I will say is I think there's a chance that I replace Darnell Mooney with probably Debo Samuel. If that, I don't think that really changes
The math too much, like
the
the equation.
yeah.
I don't think
But
so.
I do think that Darnell Mooney
Especially
I
because
probably won't be starting.
Denver's the number one defense. It's hard to
Oh
say,
yeah, fuck.
yeah, I think, hey, this is probably a better wide receiver to plug in here. Oh, by the way, he's playing against,
It would probably be Brian Thomas
the
Jr.
number
then
one.
if he plays.
And he's also very much up in the air, but very
Yeah.
good matchup for him. Yeah, it's tough. I think I got to go with Scotty, but
Yeah, no, I mean, like again, like he's probably a 60-40 favorite, maybe something between 55 and 60%. Like I'm going with Scotty. I think he's going to win, but I am a box. I could just easily win a coin flip and find myself in the
you could.
playoffs after this week.
You
But
very
I am
easily
officially
could.
picking Scotty. I think he's more likely to win. I'm gonna, like I said, this is my one shot. I gotta make the best choice so that I can cement my legacy as I think actually I'm gonna get a hundred. Also, I'm just saying if I get 100% right here, you'll still be 4-1. You'll still make up ground against Sean because I think we only deviated on one pick.
Yeah.
So, all right. Do we just real quick want to go into the simulation results I had?
Oh
Do you
yes,
want to
I
look at
would.
those?
I mean, kind
Yeah.
of go back to the standings situation. Yeah, go ahead and open that up.
Yeah. So I just have this view here. Sorry, it's a little bit messy. There's some code. Just pretend this stuff isn't there. This part here, it's basically ran a million simulations where everyone just has the same predictions. It's just
Do you normally do a million? I thought you only do 100,000.
I usually do 100,000, but this time I did a million, so I had the because I think when I did the 100,000, there was a thing where there was literally one of the 100,000 simulations that I actually got to buy.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
I wanted to ramp it up a little bit more. So yeah, you can see the one thing you can see here is I am the only one other than you and Alex with the percentage, and I'm a 0.01% chance to actually be the 2 seed. So that's
so you're still saying there's a chance.
there's a chance that I outscore Alex by 200 points and win both games, and he loses both games. I don't think that's
what
this
does the odds say
universe.
of me finishing first for a second?
So we have you at 93.78%. So
Only 93, really?
yeah, I mean, I guess all of those. The thing is like when you look at the universes where you've lost both your games and Alex has won both of his games, he's also going to be outscoring you in those universes, right? So,
But no, so if I lose both and he wins both, he wins it outright though, because he's only one game back.
oh, okay.
So I guess that makes more sense why it's as high as 7% or as high as 6%.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that makes some sense.
Yeah, but you're guaranteed to be top two. The big one here, I just want to look at like the wild card, right? So you got like Windows got 0.43% to be in fifth place.
Hold on a sec. Oh no, okay, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so we got Window at 0.43% to be fifth, so to be top five, and the rest of it's wild card.
0.4.
Yeah.
I don't think we're seeing eye to eye on that happening.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen, right? Like he's playing for the wild card. That's why I sort of, when we were going through the matchup, I was like, he doesn't care if he wins or loses. It's all points. He cares more if Scotty wins or loses than if he wins or loses, right? Like I said, as the current wild card, you would expect to be higher than 50%, but I think some of this percentage is Scotty dropping down and him losing Scotty in the wild card.
That's just it. Scotty or Sean loses. It's
yeah, and then look at this.
Totally
Scotty's got about a 23% of being the wild card. So this is saying he's roughly 23% to not be top five.
Sean's almost 19%. Scotty's 23%. I mean, those are pretty much the only three that can even really do it, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, you're not going to be you and Alex aren't going to be it because you're too high for that. But then and then there's a few people with 0%, like James 0%. Is Jason? No, Jason sits at 0.14%.
He's like 7 times more likely to be the wild card than you, though. I'm just saying.
I mean, valid, but a lot of those times I'm not the wild card, I'm still making the playoffs.
Did he? Oh, yeah. McMillan also, yeah. Sean just made a good point. McMillan's almost 11% to be the wild card.
Yeah. I mean,
he still has a decent shot. Honestly, I'm surprised I'm surprised McMillan's number is so much lower than Windows, though, being only like 20 or 30 points back.
I think it's because McMillan has a better chance of being third through fifth, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. He is 13% to be the fifth spot.
Yeah, so it's not so
Windows,
much.
In Windows, like not a chance to be the fifth spot. So that's true.
Yeah, so his lower percentage is because he'll probably finish higher than that, not lower. So if we look at
that's true.
These are the charts I post usually every week, but this is like each team's like we got Sean 97% chance, no shot at a bye. Third worst. We got Scotty with a 96% chance. Again, a good chunk of that is the wild card, but no shot at a bye. We got McMillan with a 26%
really,
chance.
Sean's that low to not make the. Sean's like 98% to make the playoffs at this point.
Yeah, I mean his points
like
are
99. Yeah, like 98%.
Yeah, almost 98%. Like he's just in a really good spot points wise. Like if he doesn't,
I guess in my head I was thinking 2 losses could change the math, but like,
yeah,
like what if McMillan wins both, Sean loses both, Scotty, you and Brad all win one. I feel like there's, I don't know. I mean, I guess obviously
he would still win the tiebreaker, right? Or he's still win the wild card, right? Oh, you're saying if Scotty also misses it?
Yeah, Scotty drops down. So what? But no, because hold on. There's a scenario where if Scotty, hold on. Oh yeah, I guess because he then he'd win the wild card. Yeah. So yeah, I guess both him and Scotty would need to drop down. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, okay, you're right. My off the top of my head math was not as good as your million simulations that you ran.
Yeah, no, that's what it says. So McMillan, small chance. He's about a quarter to make it. A lot of that is actually he's more likely to be fifth than sixth. And then Brad a little under 50-50 to make the playoffs. It's almost all going to be records. Just it's so hilarious seeing graphs like this where the 6 is so low. Like he's going to either be fifth or better or seventh or worse. Um,
Can you go to yeah, can you just click through them?
this is
I just
Jason.
want to see
Sorry,
them all.
I think I said 0.1%, but yeah, he's 0.146%. Sorry, you want to see just this one here, or
Sorry,
just
I'm also looking at it on the YouTube stream, so I'm also like a
oh,
little
okay.
bit delayed. But yeah, so okay, now so I'm looking at Scotty's right now. 96.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
McMillan, 26% chance of making the play. Man, I can't believe McMillan's is that low at 20, like under 27% when he's so close to Window.
Yeah.
Window
And
jumps up another
then
20
so
points, man.
so then this one here, right here, out of the million simulations, 3 of them, James made the playoffs.
So you're saying there's a chance. But the fact that Brad has a chance to drop all the way to ninth,
Yeah.
how is that possible?
I mean, it's not a big chance, right?
It's not a big chance, I guess not. I mean, but
And
that
then
would also require him falling below James. That would
yeah,
require James getting to 6 and 8.
yeah. Which again, this simulation is assuming that you and James have the exact same like expected points scored
Yeah.
when we both know that's not true. So
Yeah.
this is
I
much
don't
more
know.
of a team neutral. It's just how good is your position given matchups in the wild card. So yeah, and I'm here at, like I said, about 85%. So I think if
Yeah.
I lose both of mine, I'm going to need some help. But if I get it, either
0.003% chance for James is so sick. I would love for him to get in. There's just no actual. Yeah, no, there's literally because yeah, I mean, yeah, the point that you just made, like this is assuming everybody's even and James is not even.
yeah, I think he has to make up something like. Actually, let me just go. Sorry, I know we're restriction on a little bit long, and we should probably wrap it up pretty soon. But let me go back to these standings just to show the points scored. So James has no chance of being top 5. So it's all a wild card. So right now, Window is in that wild card spot with 1470. He's at 1251. So he has to average beating Window by 110 each week. Now, is James even averaging more than 110 total per week?
I don't think he is. I think he's averaging like 104.
So he's got to get. So he
Hold on,
doesn't have to
he's
score that. Oh yeah,
1250
1251 over.
86 divided by 12, 104 points per game. I
So
will say that I think this is probably one of the weirdest years of there just being like massive like outliers because as much as so you broke the record last year scoring like 135 points a game or whatever it was.
yeah,
The points against record was set the previous year. And do you want to take a stab at how many points per
oh,
game that one was at?
like
Same
140.
settings,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
123.
125.
It so it was against Jason McMillan in the 2023 season. It was over 14 games, 135.
Okay, so the points took the record for points scored and the record for points against right around 135.
Yeah, like you put up 1867, he had 1901 put up against him. Now, obviously, the whole fewest and most points scored in a season type thing gets so skewed over time because like Taylor Horn put up in God rest his soul in season 1 put up 898 points. And that sounds like a really low amount.
But that was
there's, like,
during a time where like the average score was like 90, right? Or like
They-
100. Like if you broke 100, you were definitely winning.
So I don't know if 100 was the correct number there, but there's 3 things to factor in there. Number 1, obviously, no 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Number 2 situation is we did not have a third wide receiver.
Right.
Number 3 situation was no decimal scoring, which makes a difference.
Yeah.
Now here's the fourth thing.
The one thing I'll say though is we did have kickers then.
We did have kickers then. This is true. So factor back in some points there. But essentially we replaced kickers with wide receivers, and I'm assuming overall wide receivers
Yeah.
average more points than kickers. But here's the fourth thing, and probably the biggest thing, because I have not gone back and checked this. History lesson here. Do you know how many teams were in the league in year 1?
Oh, was it less than 10?
It was less than 10. It was 9.
So you guys just have buys every week?
There was someone had a bye every week. There are people who played less games in the regular season than other people.
I was literally about to say that. I'm like, wait, so some teams would have to have a second buy, and not everyone had a second buy, right?
Yep. So I have not looked this up, so I'm going to quickly run back through the history. I'm not looking at that website.
Also,
'cause I don't
sorry,
know how
just
that
real
works.
quick, you forgot another points difference that I don't think you brought up is the half point PPR. We also didn't use to do that.
You are correct. Half point PPR. So there was in that season, there were teams that played 12 regular season games. There were teams that played 11 regular season games.
It's just insane.
Now, I will say I didn't look this up ahead of time, like I said, but actually it does turn out Taylor Horn did play 12 regular season games instead of 11 and still put up less, which is funny because he played a whole game less than the majority of the league and still had the lowest amount of points. His team was not very good. Just really quick. Tell me, I'm going to list off the number of, I'm going to list off the, I don't know why we're doing this right now. We're just filling time now, but I want you to tell me how many of these names you recognize. Okay. The first player.
Wait. What year was this?
This is 2009 season. This is the year that which you should have been paying attention. This was the year that the Saints beat oh no, never mind. It wasn't the Broncos. This is when Peyton Manning was on the Colts. The Colts and the Saints in the Super Bowl that season. So tell me if you know.
I was playing fantasy football at that time. That's why I just wanted to make sure. I was like, I think that was my sophomore year of college.
Okay. So just quick question for you. Tell me if you recognize this name. Do you know Jay Cutler?
Yes.
All right. 1 for 1. Do you know Pierre Thomas?
No.
Do you know Ryan Moats?
No. Are you just like throwing in names just to check to make sure that I'm not?
No. These are actually the people that were on his team that season.
And they were starting, or they were this is like his bench?
These are people that I have not gotten to his bench. These are the people that were in his starting lineup at the end of the season.
So I think at that time Jay Cutler as a quarterback was like viable for a QB.
He averaged 13.5 fantasy points per game that year.
Yeah.
Just not a lot. Dwayne Bowe.
No.
I knew that name. The first two names I did not know, but I knew Dwayne Bowe. Okay, you probably knew this one, Randy Moss.
Yes.
Okay. Greg Jennings.
Yeah.
Greg Olson.
Yes, isn't he?
You should. No, he's not. Suddenly, he's out. He's a commentator now. But he was a really good tight end for a long time.
Yeah.
Heath Miller. You should know him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've heard of him. I just can't picture even what position he played.
Tight end for the Steelers. Darren Sproles.
Yeah. He was pretty good for a while there.
Yeah. Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah.
Quarterback. Yep.
Yeah.
Jonathan Stewart.
No.
I know him. He was one of the key players on my championship team against Sean in season 3.
Oh.
All right. Jarius Norwood.
No.
He scored 40 fantasy points that year. 4 points per game.
The whole year.
Yeah. Kenny Britt.
No.
I knew that one. And then the last one, Jerome Harrison. Running back for the Cleveland Browns.
I was going to say, I feel like I remember that name, but again, it's the same thing. I wouldn't have been able to tell you what position he even played it. So roughly 50-50 of the players
there's like half the people on the team you've never heard of him before. It's like, his team wasn't, not only was this obviously 17 years ago, his team also was not very good.
And in theory, this team should have been slightly stronger because only 9 teams.
Oh yeah, we got Sean chiming in on the chat here because I've been off of it. He says first champion, Pimpin' Ain't Breezy. That was his team name. No, that was such a weird year though. First year that we did this league, I think I was the 9th member added. It was like a last minute thing. Jason and I were trying to draft on 2 separate ESPN accounts on the same computer. It did not work out well because I tried to take Chris Johnson and then it auto drafted Chris Johnson to him. And I was like, that's who I was going to take, but I guess we've gone too far. Chris Johnson was the number 1 running back in fantasy that season. He had an amazing season. And yeah, Sean says he could have picked Bill Shatner. He doesn't know the difference. That's also a reference from season 1 of the league when Taco takes Darren Sproles.
Oh yeah. I did see the first season of the league. I do remember that.
So yeah, no. So, I mean, putting up 898 points, it seems so low. I wish, again, like in the context of the season, that's why, it was a little nice thought experiment that we had in the chat a week ago when it was like Jason had that season where he like cleared everybody by 200 points and he was like so good. And it was like, yeah, it's probably comparable to what I'm doing this season. But
yeah, it was just scaled down a little bit because of the rules. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like most of the rules were the same. I think the main difference was it was not two quarterbacks
Hmm.
because there was three wide receivers. There was half point PPR. There was
Oh, okay.
decimal scoring. So the main difference it was instead of the kicker, it was the extra wide receiver, and then it was the super flex. So
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say that I feel like wide receiver over kicker is probably an average like 3 to 5 plus like points,
yeah,
and then the super flex is another plus like 15 to 20.
but yeah. So to loop back into just kind of what I was getting at is like just the gaps here.
Yeah, no, like
It's
just
like I'm 300 points ahead of Sean. Then there's
Jesus,
like this
yeah.
little tier of like in the mid 500s, and then there's like 100 point gap that drops down to like Window and McMillan, and then
And then
there's
there's
like a
another gap
hundred
to
point
me, to
there's a
Brad and
hundred
me.
point gap. Yeah, there's another 100 point gap to go down to you, Brad, and
It's like
James. What?
it's 70 points.
Okay, but you get kind
But
of what I
yeah,
was
yeah, no,
getting at.
it's
It's like they're like
there's a
in
pretty
these
big.
mid fours. It's like the mid fours, and then there's a gap down to the mid threes, and then there's another
Then there's
hundred
the
point
gap
gap
to
down to the
James.
mid 12s. It's like it's just so sick how like there's just like these tiers where it's such a big gap. Like I can't
Uh,
believe I looked at it this morning. I couldn't believe how far ahead I was then from second. Like
yeah.
legitimately, I'm almost 300 points clear. Like
Which what is that per week? Like 300 divided by 12 is it's almost you're outscoring the next best team by like 30 points a week.
um, it's 23 points per week right now.
Okay, which is
Yeah.
like a lot.
It's a lot. It
Like
is a lot.
yeah,
So, all right. That's our pod. Um, everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Sean, I am looking forward to pictures when the baby comes. Um, yeah.
is that
That
is
is our episode 13. What's up?
if Sean hosts the podcast, could he have the baby on the
He
pod?
might. He has done something like that before with Ruby and I think with Julia in the past. Hopefully Sean is back next week. If not, I still expect to try to run another one of these, Zach. If you are up for it, I think I've enjoyed doing this one with you as well. So if you are able to run it back next week, if Sean is unavailable, I would like to do that.
Sounds good. I passed my my audition for
Yep.
backup podcast host.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe this actually will lead into the podcast that you and I have talked about doing in the past, where we just talk about random shit that we would have talked about at a bar and we do it on the internet for people to watch. So yeah,
There's none of those yet at all.
I think the world needs more random white guys doing podcasts just talking about random shit. I don't think there's enough of those. So so yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, everyone, good luck in your matchups. We will see you guys next week.
Yep.
Go Knowles.
Good one. And good luck in
Fuck,
your
Flo-
matchups.
fuck Florida.